We live? Is everything working? Sounds on. Alrighty. So first I'd like to start off with an apology. So far it's been pretty rough, but I think we're all good now. So as you know, today I'm going to be making rice balls. Okay everyone, we're back. After those technical difficulties, I finally got the rice in here, so everything's fine now. So when you get the rice, you're just gonna put it in here, and you're gonna be very, like, almost as it's just very gentle with it to make sure that it's not, because when you're making the rice balls, you don't really want the rice to be smashed, because that will make the presentation of them look a lot worse than you want it to. So when you're doing it, you want to make it nice and just simple. So just gentle is the word I was looking for. So we're gonna turn this into sushi rice, but I like to make it a lot more dialed back than I would originally do. So a lot more dialed back than I would usually do sushi rice, because you don't want it to have as much of a strong taste as you'd want it. So, okay, so you're gonna take your rice vinegar and you're gonna add so you're gonna want to measure out just about just about, I'd say, a half cup, or even a fourth, more like, of rice vinegar. Even a little bit less than that. You're gonna take this and you're just going to drizzle it on this rice. So then you scoop out, I guess, a substantial amount of rice. It depends on how big you want your rice ball to be. So these ones I'm gonna make pretty small, considering the amount of time we have here, which I don't want to keep all of you up too late if possible. So get your hands a little wet, and you're just gonna want to mold the rice ball as well as you can. Yeah, you're gonna want to mold the rice ball as close as a shape as that you can. Get it sort of a triangular shape. First, almost, you want to this rice is so sticky. Pardon me. So you're gonna want to just mold it, and even I would say that when you mold it, you just, as of right now, I would even say that you make an indent in it now, and then you make it somewhat of a ball, and then after that process, you turn it into the triangular shape that you want. So I'm gonna get my salmon here, my cooking chopstick, and you're just gonna want to put not too much of the salmon into it, but just enough for it to have the flavoring that it's supposed to have. So once you do this, you put the salmon in there, and then you're going to want to shape it around the salmon to make sure that it is not going to bleed through one side or the other. So I'm just gonna enclose it in a ball, as the name would suggest, as a rice ball, and you're just gonna kind of want to shape it and form it until you can get it to look like your finished product in a way. And another thing is I like to make mine look pretty. if possible. So I'm going to poke a small hole in the top of this, as so, and you put just a little bit of salmon in the top of it. Oh geez. Oh gosh. As I said, I'm not really a pro at this, so you poke a small hole in the top of the rice ball and add a little bit of the salmon to the top of it. I'm just gonna use my fingers. You add a small bit of salmon to the top of it. Usually you would do this step last, but I'm going to do this before I actually put the seaweed on. So you get your seaweed here, and the half sheets work pretty well for this. So I'm just gonna take a whole half sheet of nori. It might even be slightly too big. And you see, this is a problem. My rice ball is currently deforming. Is a nice way to put it. It's becoming retarded. So you're just gonna really the most important part of this is once you get the nori on there, if you're doing it the way that I'm going to show you right now, that'll kind of keep it in place almost. So I'm gonna do that now. And so there we have it. This is our first one after a long time of trying. This is our salmon onigiri. So I'm gonna put this off on the side. I'm going to put this off to the side. So, and the next one we're going to be making is the konbu. The konbu, which is it's this seaweed. It's dark. It has a seasoning to it. I'm not completely sure on what it is and how to use it properly. So I'm gonna use this as a plate. This giant thick cutting board. Alrighty then, so now we're I'm gonna wash off this cutting board actually to make this kind of easier. I actually just use this as demonstration. So, and I'm gonna use this actually to put these in because I'm not going to use it because you have said not to. So I'm gonna wash off this cutting board. And now we're going to do the konbu. So this is about the same process. Forgot to. Never forget the water. It's very important. Okay. You don't want to use too much water so it soaks the rice to the point where it's not going to stick. But I'm going to make another one of these. Put this one to the side. And now I'm gonna wash my hands once more, and the last one we're doing is going to be the pickled plums, the little traditional red plums you see. These ones aren't the smallest ones, but they work. So Hello everybody, or Ramsey I guess so far. I don't know what happened to the stream exactly, but it seemed to have died, and I didn't notice this, but I did finish that last rice ball I was making. I'm gonna wait till a few more people get in here, if they are getting in here. In the meantime, I'm going to hydrate, because hydration is important. Self. Kenny Davis. So, as we have it so far, I've made 3 different types of rice balls, and that's all we're going to make this time. So here they are. We have the sour plum, which is the first one, konbu, and salmon. So these are just nice and prepared. So I do have enough, as I said, I do have enough to make some more things. But as of then, I'm just going to leave it as it lies. And I'll probably explain a lot less about how to make it and more about about my life. You know, just every time you watch these, I'll give you little snippets of how my childhood went. So, for any of you just joining us, I didn't realize the stream died, and I finished all 3 of the onigiri, the rice balls. So these are all 3 of them. You have the first one, which is the sour plum. And then, or pickled plum, more like. And then you have the konbu. Which is very nice and has a nice, almost, it's seasoned with soy sauce, kind of soy sauce-like material. And then we have the salmon, which is, I also I seasoned it with soy sauce. So basically, most of this is going to taste like soy sauce. But as of now, I have technically completed all I have set out to do. On a more positive note, I want to end it with a thank you to all of you who came and spent time to watch this video. I know it was a long one, but most of these are probably going to be about an hour, 30 minutes, 2 hours. And I was thinking of making miso ramen for one of them, and that is going to be a terribly long process of about 4 hours. I'm going to split the stream into 2 parts though. To make one part the preparation phase of making the broth of the ramen and all this stuff, and then actually making the, basically the broth is what takes the longest to make because it has to sit and extract all the vitamins and tastes of that. So I would just like to say thank you and have a nice evening. You guys are all great. I'll see you next time. This has been Kenyon's Friday Cooking Show, signing off. Peace.